It's nothing but melted buildings. They will tell you some ooga booga caveman came here to carve this or something. Do you think people with donkeys and chisels got some bricks all the way up there?
Okay, hello there, beautiful meltheads and curious minds out there. Looking for truth, looking for evidence, looking for a better explanation of this reality. You have come to the right place, because we're gonna look at some evidence which proves that there was some major cataclysmic event not that long ago, most likely, which wiped out an advanced high-tech civilization or another humanity, the past humanity, out of existence. So if you're new to this whole thing, please make sure to watch my documentaries. You can find a link down below in the description box. And as always, just sit back, relax, and enjoy the evidence and my narration. I've been spending a couple of hours now looking for some evidence here, and I'm gonna present it to you and explain a little bit what's going on, but not into too much detail because everything has been explained in the past, and I'm not gonna spend 5 minutes on every photo. So you got these ruins all over the realm, here in the middle of nowhere, and you can just see that something happened to this building here. You still got some red brick around in these apertures up here, which is a common thing. They usually survive around apertures and in archways, as we have seen many times before, but most of them here all cooked out. Some of them are being cooked together, while some of them are just changing appearance and shape, expanding up, turning into rocks, and of course also changing color. You got some more bricks up here, some cracks and stuff. Got a big balloon rocking up here, expanding up. The scientific term for this is grain growth. When you got heat expansion going on, and of course you got this mess going on right here. Down here got some bricks in here, but you see the straight lines and everything. This is part of the building, but it's been too mangled now, expanded and very destroyed. You just got mangled bricks laying around, and this is what they would call rocks in so-called geology, but there is no such thing as natural rocks here. It's all parts of buildings. Let's see what we got here. We got bunch of bricks expanding up into bigger blocks here. Still got lots of red color left. Many of them also changed color, turned white. Very cooked out, but look here in this area, the building here, you can see pancake brick lines in here and some swelling going on, and everything here is being very cooked out. This is part of the building, okay? It's all part of the building. Look here, something happened to this building. It's been fried, and you see some more swelling up here to the right, and some more pancake brick lines right there. Compressed or viscous, they turned viscous and they were compressed from the weight from above. And here you got everything rocking up, while you got one pancake brick in here and a little bit more brick right there. That's still red, but it's all flat and longer now, also being compressed. You got some swelling action going on in this area, and of course down here also getting very, very mangled and cooked out. You see everything here in this realm, all these so-called naturally generated formations they call mountains and stuff, are all melted buildings. and I'm here. One of my life missions and purpose is to help expose this, because it's very important. It shows the potential of humanity if we work together, everybody, without this separation and all these wars and racism, all that bullshit. If we don't have that, we are able to accomplish incredible things. So here you see a stack of red bricks up here at the top, and the bottom is very cooked out, getting cooked together, rocking up. You see more red brick in the background. Here just a pile of rubble or brick building debris, whatever you want to call it. And you see red brick all over the place. It's just silly to think that somebody would build like this here, just throw a bunch of random rocks in a pile, when you can clearly see they have access to red brick, as we have seen many times. It's all ruins here. You got some kind of metal, maybe some kind of water system going on right here. That's also what waterfalls are. You see water being pumped out from these buildings to this day. It's all cooked out here as well, melt heads. You see this. This is a very common thing. You see these very thick so-called rock walls, and the house I currently sleep in right now are also built on something like this. It's a wooden house from, they say, 1879. Pretty old house, but it's built on a square foundation, very similar to this. Very, very thick wall full of mangled bricks. And there is also a pocket of survival right outside my door up the melt, which I will show you. I just keep forgetting, so I will show you in a future video when I remember. But you can still see some of the bricks managed to survive in here all over the place. Some of them, this could be some concrete molds just expanding a little bit. More brick. Everything here being mangled and deformed by the heat from this cataclysmic event. You got this honeycomb design here. All the bricks being deformed and the mortar being swollen and expanding out. And more mangled stuff here. And of course you got some of these cars just laying around. These beautiful old cars. And here is just a thought I have. I cannot confirm that it's true or not, but these old cars like this with these kind of designs could have been artifacts from the old world. I'm not sure, but of course they had cars when they had all this free energy technology, a very high-tech civilization. So cars have always been around, except for the short period after this cataclysmic event, which again could have happened pretty recently, talking to 300 years. Not quite sure yet. I'm only 2.5 years or so into this research. But there was a time where the new humanity came in, and they were presented as primitive people with only horses and carts, and then of course the car was reinvented or reintroduced to the masses. So I don't know, but there is some interesting, vehicles around. And here you got one just thoroughly cooked out, and everything just expanding into these big blocks and rocks in the middle of nowhere. And of course melt heads, we know what it is. It's been through this cataclysmic event, and it's just sitting there. Somebody found it, put a wooden door in it, and they used it, when the new humanity came in. It's very convenient to find this, and you can use it for storage or shelter or whatever you'd like, since it's still hollow inside. Norway has many of these all over the place, in the middle of nowhere, and with meltology eyes you know what it is. You can see what it is. Very cooked out here. You see red bricks all over. You know, you zoom in. Here is a deformed one. Some of them are expanding with viscous holes. Archway here full of brick. You see the texture and the color of this whole thing. Obviously it went through some event. It got very hot and cooked out, and here we got some massive swelling and melt going on right here in this area. See here, this is part of the building, but it's damaged and swollen and melted. It's not a naturally generated formation. Everything is a lie, so you gotta put everything you were taught in school, put it away and relearn everything. Goes from everything from NASA to geology to history, yeah, basically everything. Here is another little pocket village or something, very ruined. Doesn't look like it's inhabitants living in here. It's probably too destroyed and stuff, but you can see here this little patch of brick, still brick, while the cornerstones here expanded into bigger blocks. Everything here turned into rocks. And here again you got this beautiful vehicles, cars, automobiles just sitting here rotting. I don't know, it's just a thought I have, because it's just, yeah, could have been cars from the old world. Who knows, right? Who knows? I've been here in this existence for 28 years, and whatever happened 150 years ago, I don't know. I can't really know at this point, because everything is so hidden. The history is all a lie. So here you got big blocks turn into big blocks, but here you got a patch of bricks again. Got some roof tiles. Look at the texture here, very cooked out. You got some bricks here and there, as you can see. I like to look for the brick because I love red bricks, as you probably know. You got some stairway up here, also full of bricks, some of them expanding into big blocks. And then here you got the huge swelling action going on, and of course this building just being fused into it, going into it. You got some more stuff here, more brick. Up here we got some roof stuff and more building up here. All of this is a part of the building, but it's very damaged right now. Pocket of survival is what we call it. Some of these buildings managed to survive. We see them all over the place. Most cities has a major cathedral or church, what they call them, hijacked and repurposed by a religious cult. But they look like some kind of ancient power plant. Looks like it's based off of electricity. Very often they have huge antennas on top and copper roofs and all that stuff. So to me it shows that it got something to do with electricity. And here we got this weird phenomena again, where you can see this layer effect, where some of the bricks turn into bigger blocks. Maybe this little chunk right here, all the bricks in this area melted together into one block, but then you have the bricks here and then another block and then the bricks here. This is the weird thing that this X Factor did. See here you got a bunch of bricks all the way down here, while some of them turn into big rocks, or blocks I mean. Here they turn into balloon rocks, and you still have bricks all the way in here. So you know, it just doesn't make any sense to build like this. It looks very bad, and you can see the wholeness of the structure itself is very high quality. You know, the architecture, the detail and everything. So why do all of this instead of just making the whole thing like this, perfect red brick, right? And of course you can put exterior concrete finish and concrete molds on these buildings. They do that all the time to change appearance or features whatever you want, but you know, it just doesn't make sense to do all of this. And this is supposed to be done, you know, hundreds and thousands of years ago, you know, very, very ancient buildings. So how did they do this with these big blocks all the way up here and all the way up here instead of just, you know, getting some small bricks up here? It's just doesn't make sense. Here we got some concrete molds. Yeah, you got very heat damaged buildings. Something happened to it. Pocket of survival just inside the mountain here, basically, so-called mountain. This is the bigger section of the building above and to the left of this one, melting down, starting to cover this one from this side and above, coming down, melting over it. And the bricks, of course, cooked out, changed appearance once again into rocks. Very, very destroyed and cooked out. Swelling going on down here. Yeah. Buckets of survival. Another constructed so-called mountain. You can see all the brickwork here. Going up here, you see a bunch of brick here, more up here, and of course the very top, well, a lot of it around got very melted, swollen and damaged, and now has this so-called mountain look to it. See here in the background too, the rest of the building here, it's all destroyed, nothing left. But you got these pockets of survival right here. A little pocket of survival, and you can see the swelling right here, the bottom section very destroyed. We got a bunch of balloon rocks up here as well, and where is the rest of the building? And who came all the way up here with donkeys to build this building, right? Just a pocket of survival right there. You will see it once you understand meltology. Okay, there is no, you know, I mean, you can't deny it, but there is only one truth here, and it's being delivered to you right now, and it's up to you if you wanna accept it or not. Okay, because I don't decide what's true. I just for some reason can't see it, and I wish to share it because it's very important for humanity, so we can better understand what's going on and why you should turn off your tell lies to your vision or television. You got a little pocket of survival, a little bit of building sticking up here, here and here, and the rest is just too destroyed and swollen and mangled right there. See, it's just melted buildings. And as well all these other mounds of melt here taken over by these plants. They can still feast on the energy of these buildings and grow here. So got some melt coming down right here, and let's see what we got. The thing is, I just grabbed the photos. I spent, you know, a couple of hours grabbing photos for a video, and then I zoom in on them and go through them together with you guys as I record. So that's the way I do it. You got most bricks here deformed, expanded, also change color, turn all white and gray. And yeah, you still see bricks in here, bunch of them, very deformed, some of them compressed as well, some of them bent, some of them just expanding up. Yeah, so this is all a melted building here, originally built or rendered by red brick. See the whole thing here, all cooked out. See some deformed brick right there, rocking up, more deformed brick. You see them all over. You see them even inside this balloon rocking here. You see a bunch of bricks. So it's all evidence, guys. All of this, it's all evidence. So you just gotta keep watching, and hopefully you will be able to see it eventually. Just don't give up, just keep watching. And here you see a bunch of brick lines. Yeah, there is nothing natural about this. It's all brick lines here. Some cooked into block lines, expanded out by this heat. Just brick lines. It's a building. And we got this pocket of survival here, some more stuff all over the place, and look at the swelling here, melt heads. See, the damage is just incredible. See, all this, and you got some more stuff down here. Could be some aperture. And they put a stairway up here, and you got some tourists and stuff, and they put a cross here, and they probably call it some kind of religious place of worship or whatever. And yeah, I don't do religion, so you guys commenting saying I need to find Jesus, there is no reason to, because I'm not going back in that direction of thought, because yeah, I've read the Bible, and you know, that's just my opinion. Okay, you're free to believe whatever you want, but I just don't find it very appealing to me. I take my own journey towards truth, try to figure it out myself, and this biblical God doesn't seem very friendly in my opinion, so I just don't do it. Here is another melted building. Very, very destroyed. It's all melting down, turning into ashes here, melting away from itself, and just look at the texture here. And this is probably something they would call, you know, weather erosion and stuff, but it's just nonsense. It just doesn't happen like that. So the explanation is very easy with meltology. It's just a melted building. That's all there is to it. Here, famous location. You can see the back part of this building, very, very melted. Look at the texture here, but you got this pocket of survival, but again, look at the texture. It's been all melted. So it's a constructed building which was melted. That's all it is. It's very simple. Aperture, and they will call it a carving or chiseling. That's some Ooga Booga caveman carved this, right, with hand tools and stuff. And it's just, you know, that we have this stuff all over the place, and they needed to figure out a lie, which, you know, the silly humans, including myself for many years, would believe, and they told us, hey, somebody carved it, right? I mean, it is a good lie, you know, but it's a lie, and truth is more important. Here you got all this mangled, deformed brick, all cooked out, and, you know, see, they put some netting on here to preserve it so people don't knock it over or something, but it's destroyed already. There is no reason to preserve this. Here turning into mush, almost like dirt here, which is also a mineral created by this X Factor event. It's all brick ash, and yeah, it's all a building here. See some block lines, and of course on the very, very top here, huge block lines going all the way across, and some more building up here. Pocket of survival. This whole thing here is nothing but a building. And here, this one, I'm gonna sit on this photo here for a little bit so you can train your eyes. Look at all the features and the whole look of it. Look at all the brick lines here, block lines, everything. Look here, it's all a building here. Reminds of some kind of castle, you know. Just look at the whole thing here. It's all a building that's melted. Just take a look at it. Take a good look at it. We can zoom in a little bit also. It looks like you might have some faint archways in here. Look how straight all these walls are. Got some more features down here. And you go down here, you see a collapsed archway or something. Everything here thoroughly cooked out. Got some more apertures. Yeah, it's just a building. Look at the whole thing here. It's a massive, massive building that was melted. See all the brick lines. It's all buildings. Here too, see the texture here. All these bricks melting, becoming viscous, flowing down here over itself. Rock curtaining over. You see the texture here, and then you gotta see here all the way to the left. What's this? See, it's a square with some kind of columns here. And here, another square thing, possibly an aperture right there. And look at this. Concrete mold designs, melted, brick lines showing through. See here, it's all buildings. And here you got more apertures, doors, windows, openings into this melted structure. Here is another one. See, and you can see that it's just melting down over itself here. All these drip marks, melt stains. It's all buildings melted, collapsed in on itself. Look at it. And here, look at this, look at this. And this whole thing, the wholeness of it, and of course the apertures. And here you got some massive buildings as well. Could be the very top of something. We don't know where the real ground level is, right? So this could be some kind of spires or the roofs of something. But everything here is expanded into bigger blocks. You can see when you zoom in, not the best photo on the top of this, but you can see it's red brick up here on this outer layer. Everything else fell apart. It's all expanded into big blocks, perfect big blocks. And the current mainstream history tells us that these are tombs, which just, when you think about it, makes zero sense. And here, with all these camels and stuff, all this is just ashes. That's the last stage of the melt. The bricks are just falling apart, turning into fine grains of what they call sand. You can see brick pieces and all weird stuff when you look at so-called sand in a microscope. And here you got pockets of survival as well. You got this staircase all melted, all here melted. Pockets right there, some kind of tower, you know, mushroom dome melted. And look here, what's this? What's this doing here? Yeah, you see brick lines. There's some more stuff there, some more block, whatever it is. Brick lines, and yeah, what's this? Yeah, it's a melted building as well. And this one, very destroyed. It's full of holes, collapsed apertures, or whatever it is. It's very cooked out. But what's interesting, because it's a very high resolution photo, so you can zoom in here and you can see, oh, what we got here. Yeah, guys, it's a brick, and you got some more brick, and here, what's this brick rubble doing here? See, all this red brick turned into mush here. This is, you can just, you know, it's like clay, almost looks like clay. You got more bricks in here. And here it's turning into what they call dirt in so-called geology. You got something here, more brick. Some of these could also be pieces of roof tiles, you see here. All this, more brick. Yeah, you got bricks laying all over the place. See, here's another one. Bunch of brick stuff right here. The background is a little blurry, see here. You got some more red brick stuff. Yeah, bricks all over the place, see here? It's all brick. It's brick. And yeah, it's not in focus in the background here, but it's brick all over the place, so it's just building debris all over. It's just a building that's melted. Very, very melted here in this example. Bricks here changing appearance, turn into rocks, but you still see mangled bricks all the way in between, all over the place. See here, all the way to the top here. See, it's melting here. Very fried buildings, electricity coming through these building components, mangling them, getting very, very mangled. You got some bricks in here as well, turned into big rocks, blocks, thoroughly cooked out. Just a red brick building which went through a cataclysmic event, and it's a cataclysmic event after all, so it's very difficult to replicate on a smaller scale. I wish we could and had the equipment for it, but I don't have it. Maybe you have, but I don't. So I know some of you guys tells me to do this or replicate this stuff, but I can't. Yeah, you got bricks all over in here as well, many of them rocking up, blocking up. Bricks, viscous holes, it's all fried, cooked out here. Nobody built like this. It's all red bricks cooked out. You see the bricks all over here. Brick turn into bigger blocks. Balloon rocking, expanding from the heat here, also thoroughly cooked out. You got this building here, you got some kind of aperture archway here, all mangled, but you can still see brick lines in here. Swollen bricks, you got some more stuff here. It's collapsed within. I don't think you can go very far inside this building. You got more brick lines here. It's all ruined, destroyed buildings. And this one still remained very red. Here's something pretty similar. You can still see the brick lines all the way through. You can see the separate bricks, just they are expanded and some are compressed. See here, there is nothing natural about this. So this here, see how straight it is? It's a wall. See here, compressed pancake brick lines up here at the top, and here this top here dome, whatever it used to be. It's all brick. It's melted structures sitting in brick ash. Everything around here melted. There is another one in the background sticking up here. It's all buildings. Here, swollen up brick right there. Swollen, deformed bricks, so melting together here. You can see 3 bricks here melting together. That's sometimes how they form bigger blocks, and you can see the transition here, and down at the bottom you just see more melts. More melts. You see the texture right here. It's all melting, dripping down here. It's very destroyed. See, the texture is melting down. It's getting so cooked, melting like ice cream. See some more stuff here. And yeah, swollen up bricks, and the bigger one in the background all melting down, collapsing, turn into ashes, and nothing left. It's all buildings. See the melt texture on this one? It's also dripping down. It's dripping down. You can see it's being cooked smoothly together here. Melting and dripping down, and yeah, very cooked at the bottom, sitting in this here, which was just, you know, huge lake of melt here, cooking it, eating it. Maybe that's why it's so skinny at the bottom, because all this melt here, all this was flowing hot, and it started to eat it up at the bottom, so it's very skinny down there. And you got more building melted over here as well. Look at the texture, see the brick lines and block lines, and got a guy on a motorcycle or dirt bike having some fun. And yeah, everything here turning into balloon rocks, see, but you can still see brick all over. So yeah, just ask yourself, did somebody build like this? They could lay perfect brick like this, and then they needed to get this ugly stuff here up all the way here, you know. See, something happened here, guys. Something happened to this building. You can see here, this is more like it used to look like here. Very many bricks here preserved, but then look here, look, with a bunch of bricks still in here. It's all fried, balloon rocking up, and it's all grain growth here as well. Bricks all the way in here. Most of them balloon rocked. Look here, it's so ugly now. Instead of this side here. Thoroughly cooked out bricks once again, believe it or not. Many of the bricks again around apertures usually survived. Many cooked out, lost their color or changed color. More bricks around this aperture, and everything here cooking together, getting mangled, deformed, altered states of matter, changing appearance. It's a cooked out building. And you got some wooden stuff. Maybe they put it in here to keep it from collapsing. Can't tell. Don't really know. But yeah, somebody put some wood in here. And here you got some more buildings sticking up from the melt, which is this huge, swollen, mangled, destroyed ugliness right here, and a little bit more building right here. It's all melted, swollen, very destroyed, very destroyed. More building just sticking up. The very top, pocket of survival, and you got some wall going here and then into the melt and coming out again, going all the way. And then some more stuff here, and everything else here very destroyed, melted, turned into mush here, almost like dirt. You can probably take a shovel in here and just, you know, shovel it out, no problem. It's all turning in very close to just brick ash and just falling down. Very red here, very red at the bottom still, and it's all a melted building. In the background too, it's all buildings. The bigger ones usually too destroyed, too much electricity in this, whatever components they used to be on this grid, in this electromagnetic reality. Whatever they used to be, they usually melted completely and turned into this. And here we got more buildings just sticking up all over from the melt. Pockets of survival, but everything else is just, yeah, very melted and cooked out. And the biggest here melting down, you see. They tell us these formations here. You can see the brick lines in here still. Some brick lines up here. They tell us these are generated by plate tectonics. But if the Earth is not a spinning rock, spinning space testicle, with plate tectonics, then how can this just be a naturally generated formation like that? You know how they explain. They just needed to make up something, right? That's all they had to do. Make up the whole thing and our whole perception of reality. Make it up to create this artificial matrix BS we live in right now. You see another pocket of survival into the so-called mountain right here. Everything else thoroughly cooked out, but you still see brick lines in here. It's very, very melted and destroyed. And here you got more stuff in the background, and of course the flood waters. This is when very many religious people go all crazy because their book tells them about the flood. But, everybody can write a book and write about a flood, so yeah, but the water came in likely during or afterwards, to preserve whatever they could. I don't know if it was some kind of fail-safe mechanism or if all the plumbing and everything just went batshit crazy and flooded it all. I'm not sure where the water came from. Can't really tell, and the Bible has clues in it, don't get me wrong, and they tells us it came from the sky. And when you look at what they call the Milky Way, which also has another name for it, which is the Great Rift, then you gotta look up the definition of the word rift, and it says a crack, split or damage in something. So when you look at photos of the so-called Milky Way, it looks like a crack. So this event here could have been so violent that it damaged the sky dome, and maybe some water came in there. If it's water outside, I don't even know. I don't know. Okay, I'm stuck down here at the ground, and all I can reveal is the stuff down here. Okay, that's what I'm doing right now. You see bricks here cooked out at the top turn into something that plants likes a lot, as you can see here. And many of the rocks here all melting. Well, you still got some melted brick in here. You got cornerstones with some kind of designs on it, and bricks all the way. Yeah, you see bricks all over the place. Huge melt down here. Brick lines. More melted red brick right here. Look at the texture of this brick. Yeah, it's all fried, cooked out. And here turn into big blocks, all blocking up here. Huge swelling going on. But what you gotta look at here is this. You can still see here some kind of man-made whatever, and see this has the exact same appearance as this so-called mountain here. We got more blocks up here. So the structure, huge balloon rocking, swelling, grain growth, melting. So just a melted structure. And here we got some bricks preserved, while the rest are just looking like this now. Got more bricks down here. Here a bunch of brick. Also this, see how thick these walls are. More brick, more melt, more ruins. See the texture. Got a brick here, popcorning out. Popcorn brick right there at the edge, right there. Yeah, you gotta see this whole thing, and it just doesn't make any sense to build it like this. See how ugly it is now? You still see brick here. So were they supposed to make just a couple of brick to build this building, but then they ran out and they had to find all these random ugly rocks and blocks around and put that in here as well, right? Just doesn't make sense. See these mangled archways filled out here, another archway, going block, going block, going rock and block. see the walkway here, brick, and the stairs, brick, and the building, brick, but also very destroyed. See all the brick here, mangled. See, do you think they put some mortar here and just threw some destroyed brick in here? And you can see these bigger ones here, they are ballooning up, being deformed. Here we got a big red block, red brick. Yeah, see here, melt heads. What happened to this building? Here they're getting churned very good together. And of course very many more red brick and balloon rocks, and here they got this appearance. Big blocks, big red slabs, more brick. Yeah, you see the idea. It's all cooked out. Hopefully you see it. More red brick all over, and of course very cooked out as well. But look here, why is this here? Expanded out, balloon rocking. Look at it. Why is it here? You got more stuff down here, swelling, heat expansion. And here you can see these columns. You got three, you got one in decent condition right there, and here you see the core of these columns here are all red brick. So when you see these humongous columns somewhere in these old, so-called temples and stuff, and they tell us, oh, it's one piece they carved out from thousands of miles away and carried up here and stuff. It's nonsense. It's just constructed first with red brick and then got some kind of exterior outer layer on it, and that's what these columns are. But you can see the bricks here rocking up, getting cooked out. And this is, I think it's in Italy or something, and it's very popular for tourism, and they go there, and they're clueless. They don't know what they're looking at, which is, very sad, and I just wish they knew, because it would help them understand reality better. Here you got a bunch of apertures, you got this pocket of survival, this facade with columns and everything, and more apertures here, starting to get covered a little bit by all this melt coming down here. See, rock curtaining over, swollen, got brick lines in here, and more apertures all the way down here as well. See, it's all melted buildings. And here everything got turned into blocks. You can see the color, it looks like it was very hot at some point. You got some swelling inside this opening, viscous holes from air trying to escape the viscous melt. And then up here, look at all these openings all the way here on a row. Maybe it was some kind of aperture or something, can't tell, but just look at it. They are there. They are definitely not a naturally generated formation, and I don't think somebody came up and was hanging here in a rope to carve or chisel all of this for no reason. More break in here. You see the top of this structure still there, cooked out. Some of them turned into big blocks. You got more balloon rocks and stuff up here, all melted and mangled. And of course here it's getting very destroyed and swollen, while you still have pockets of survival, apertures all over here, with more stuff just sticking up here. It's a melted building, guys, look at it. here is also one of those weird ones, because you can see the bottom section here all mangled, very mangled, rocking up and blocking up. And then you see the middle section, you still see these concrete mold designs on here, very pretty. And then the very top all destroyed as well, while you still see some brick, red brick in here and here and here and here. Still see some brick in here, while most of it is very cooked out. But this little middle section here, for some reason, I don't know why, but it survived, as you can see. And yeah, before I forget, yeah, you see here the quality of construction right here. So why is this pretty stuff on this ugly thing here, which is clearly some kind of man-made structure? And here just more of this glorious concrete mold, exterior concrete mold designs. But in here you can see some mangled brick showing through. So all of these concrete molds are attached to the exterior of this red brick. The core of these structures and big statues and whatever else are always red brick, because they had to be, for this grid component free energy thing working and functioning properly. And here is some kind of excavated thing. You can see here the brick ash on the side. This is yeah, the dirt substance. They turn into dirt, brick ash. But you can see this beautiful tile floor all put together with tiny tiles here with all these designs. Under the ground they had to excavate this out, which proves everything was buried by this. I call it a melt flood. Many people mistakenly call it a mud flood, but it's very inaccurate, and meltology explains it perfectly, because where did this so-called mud come from, right? It's all bricks that's just crumbling apart, starting to flow. That's all it is, flowing in the melt, covering everything. But this is some kind of tile floor, beautiful. You can find this under the floodwaters, aka the ocean, and you find them in this you know, palace buildings and stuff. And here it is, excavated and under the earth. So who knows what's below us and how deep it goes, you know? Who knows where the real ground level is when humanity started, you know, for however long ago, infinite ago. Then where is the real ground level? I don't know. It's big questions which we can hopefully find the answers to, as long as, you know, we need more people onto this research and we got this collective consciousness going on. Maybe the answers will come to us. That's why I don't watch the weather forecast, because maybe they manifest whatever weather they want by telling us what the weather will be like, and so many are watching the weather forecast and we just manifest it for them. And of course they can also control the weather and everything, but just turn off the television is my point here. I'm just rambling a little bit. But that was all my photos for today's video. This one is not gonna be completed in my middle of the night. It's now 7:20 p.m. here in Norwegian time, and if you came this far, if you were holding on this far into the video, please hit the like button, because you are clearly interested here since you watched it for so long. And hit the big red subscribe button, share it out with your friends. If you like, you can also donate and help me out a little bit in my existence if you wish. It's up to you, voluntarily of course. And also make sure to check out the Linktree/meltology channels to find tons of other content creators talking about the same thing here, which will give you endless amount of content explaining all of these melts, trying to look for answers and everything, so we can figure out this reality of deceptions. So yeah, you guys, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed, hope you learned something, hope you saw some interesting evidence, and we'll talk again in the next one, hopefully tomorrow, unless something happens and I don't have the opportunity to make one. Love you all, meltheads, and take care, be kind, eat healthy, and stay safe, all that good stuff. Okay, bye.